Between the mighty Tigris and Euphrates, in a land fed by blood and brilliance, rose a city unlike any other, Babylon, a city where kings stood as gods, and where law, writing, and wisdom were born, a tale of kings and conquerors, of laws and legends. Our story begins in a time when empires crumbled like sand castles against the tide of history. It was in this very land where once upon a time the mighty Akkadians, the warlike Amorites, and the mysterious Sumerians had thrived, leaving behind echoes of their grandeur in the dust of ages. It was here that a new kingdom would rise, destined to rewrite the chapters of human history forever. In the second millennium BC, a new player stepped onto the field, the Babylonian Empire. At first glance, it was just another kingdom in a region known as Mesopotamia, between the rivers Tigris and Euphrates. The name Babylon itself is believed to have derived from the Sumerian word for the gate of the gods, perhaps hinting at the colossal role it was about to play in human affairs. The seeds of greatness were sown when a warrior king named Hammurabi took the throne around 1792 BC. Now, Hammurabi was no ordinary ruler. He was not just a conqueror, he was a visionary. Under his leadership, Babylon morphed from a provincial state to a regional powerhouse, defeating neighboring city-states and bringing them under one banner. This marked the beginning of a new era. The ancient Near East would never be the same again. It was during this time that Hammurabi ushered in one of the most significant advancements in human history, the creation of the first major written code of laws. Imagine a world without laws, a world where might was right and chaos held sway. It was in this context that Hammurabi's legal code emerged as a beacon of order. The code was revolutionary. It established a uniform set of rules and regulations that applied to all subjects of the kingdom, regardless of social status. If a man stole an ox or a donkey, he must pay back tenfold. If a son struck his father, he would be thrown into prison. Such laws might seem rudimentary by today's standards, but they were monumental for their time. Carved in stone, these laws survive to this day, etched proof of humanity's first steps toward law and order. As the centuries turned, Babylon's fate hung in the balance, toppled and rebuilt again. But through it all, the spirit of Hammurabi's reforms endured, laying the groundwork for the golden age that lay ahead. Fast forward a few centuries, and the stage was set for the rise of a legendary monarch, Nebuchadnezzar II. Taking the throne around 605 BC, Nebuchadnezzar embarked on a campaign of conquest that would make Babylon the unrivaled power in the region. His empire stretched from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean, a realm that became the cynosure of the ancient world. Under his visionary rule, Babylon experienced a cultural and architectural renaissance. Mighty walls were constructed to encircle the city, standing as silent sentinels to the ages. Within these walls, magnificent temples, palaces, and gardens glorified Babylon's glory. Among these wonders, the Hanging Gardens are believed to have been built as a gift for Amytis, Nebuchadnezzar's Median wife, who longed for the lush greenery of her homeland. These gardens, one of the ancient world's 7 wonders, were an oasis of beauty, a testament to human ingenuity and the king's boundless love. But Nebuchadnezzar's legacy was not confined to grand architecture alone. He was also a lawmaker, instituting reforms that contributed significantly to the administration and prosperity of his empire. His efforts to standardize weights and measures across his vast domain facilitated trade and commerce, fostering economic growth. Moreover, he encouraged agriculture, introduced new crops, and improved irrigation systems, ensuring food security for his subjects. However, Nebuchadnezzar's ambition knew no bounds. He led his armies in numerous military campaigns, expanding Babylon's dominion over neighboring kingdoms. The defeat of the Kingdom of Israel and the subsequent exile of the Jewish people to Babylon is a pivotal event that found its place in biblical narratives. Despite the controversies surrounding some of his conquests, Nebuchadnezzar remains an iconic figure in ancient history, remembered as the king who made Babylon the cynosure of the ancient world. As the sun set on Nebuchadnezzar's reign, the story of Babylon took a turn. New rulers ascended to the throne, each leaving their own mark on the kingdom's destiny. Among them, Nabonidus stands out as a ruler who valued art and culture, patronizing literary works and archaeological digs that unearthed relics of the past. Yet it was his successor, Belshazzar, who was destined to play a pivotal role in one of the most legendary chapters of Babylon's history. One fateful night, King Belshazzar hosted a grand feast in the palace. As the revelry reached its peak, a mysterious hand appeared and traced a number of cryptic symbols on the palace wall. These symbols, indecipherable to the king and his wise men, sent ripples of fear and uncertainty through the kingdom. Rumors spread like wildfire, whispering of divine retribution and impending doom. Amidst this mounting dread, the Jewish prophet Daniel was brought before the king. With a deep understanding of ancient lore and a connection to the divine, Daniel interpreted the enigmatic symbols. They foretold the imminent downfall of the Babylonian Empire and the rise of a new power, the Persians. True to Daniel's prophecy, the empire crumbled, succumbing to the invading Persian forces under Cyrus the Great. Belshazzar, along with the last of the Babylonian kings, met his demise in the siege of Babylon, marking the end of an era. And so the tale of Babylon reached its twilight years. Conquered by the Medes and Persians, then the Greeks, and eventually the Arabs, the empire that once dominated the Fertile Crescent faded into the annals of history. Even the river Euphrates shifted its course, leaving the once bustling city in arid wasteland. Today, the ruins of Babylon stand as silent witnesses to a glorious past, a reminder of the impermanence of earthly grandeur. Yet the spirit of Babylon lives on in the tales we tell and the lessons we learn. Hammurabi's code, with its pioneering legal principles, continues to influence legal systems around the globe. The Hanging Gardens, though long gone, remain a symbol of human ingenuity and the heights of architectural brilliance that can be achieved. The story of Babylon is not merely a tale of ancient conquest and cultural achievement. It's a testament to the enduring impact ancient Mesopotamia had on the course of human civilization. It was here, in this cradle of civilization, that some of the earliest forms of writing, mathematics, and astronomy developed, laying the foundation for many aspects of modern life. The legacy of Babylon is interwoven with the threads of human progress, innovation, and the relentless march of time. The rise and fall of this mighty empire serve as a timeless reminder that no kingdom, no matter how powerful or glorious, can stand against the inexorable passage of time. As we explore the remnants of Babylon today, we're not just uncovering artifacts or deciphering ancient texts. We're connecting with the very origins of our shared human heritage. Every brick that marks the walls of Babylon, every inscription that whispers ancient laws or myths, is a link to our collective past. The allure of Babylon lies not just in her past, but in her timeless relevance. Her story mirrors the aspirations, achievements, and eventual decline that often accompany great powers. The cyclical nature of rise and fall that Babylon embodies is a universal theme, a cautionary tale that resonates even in modern times. In the heart of Iraq, where the Euphrates gently flows, lie the ruins of Babylon, a whisper of the past. May her story continue to captivate, to inspire, and to teach us the profound lessons of history. So when you stand among the crumbling walls of Babylon, or ponder the verses of Hammurabi's code, remember that you're touching the very essence of human progress, the dreams, the laws, and the legacies that have shaped our world. Babylon was more than just a place. It was an idea that humans could govern with wisdom, write their stories, and build the impossible. And today, in every law we read, in every artifact we unearth, the voice of Babylon still whispers to the world.